Okay, boys and girls, tell me where we're at. So, look at that, Hyde Park. What happened is that I saw it on some Instagram account. Oh my God, I follow so many people. I follow at least 500 YouTube channels and thousands more internet profiles. Well, I meant Instagram profiles. And I saw one thing, and that is Marble Arch. There are lots of pop-up things all over the city, all over London. Lots of pop-up things. For example, you can buy second-hand vintage clothes. I kind of missed that. For some reason, it was in the town hall, and you could buy a ticket for that for like $150, and I have no idea why I didn't get the ticket for $150. You know, it's like such a good vibe in the vintage second-hand pop-up stores. Usually, they rent a place, you know, some random place, and then they do this pop-up. You know, they go around like a rock star, you know, a concert in a different, not city, different street, on a different street every day, and they just move on. And they are pretty great. Yeah, the vibe, the whole thing, it's really, really great. $150 the ticket, you can secure your place, and I don't know, I didn't do that. And then this one came up, Marble Arch Mound. And I saw it, Instagram, you know, pictures and 5 stars experience and stuff like that. That was free. And well, I booked the ticket. And I was thinking, what time to go? Because now it gets dark pretty early in the day. And I said, let's do the sundown. Little bit before, and if we want, we can stay slightly longer, and that's it. So we went there, and it was like, oh my God, because you know I was away for such a long time. I went to south of Hungary. I was renting a flat. Well, the original idea was to rent a flat for 5 months, but then after 1 month I packed up and came back home, because 1 month was enough to come to certain decisions and how I wanna deal with things and stuff. And you know, when you're in a flat alone 1 month, and it's kinda, you have this me time, this self-care and all that stuff. And you know me, after doing this, after following me on the internet for so many years, you know already that I do not care about self-care at all. So basically, me time means that what I would need to make a huge, life-altering decision. That time, let's say it's like 3 months, because you know I need to, you know, test the waters here and there and look at my options. And when I was 1 month alone in my own flat for the very first time in my life, no flatmates, nothing, just me in a perfect flat. And I was thinking, looking at the ceiling, inviting friends over, cooking for them. I've decided what I want to do, how I want to do it, and basically 80% of it 80% of it can be done. So that is pretty cool, I think. So that's it. 1 month was enough. I manned up. I made my decision and came back to London. Yeah, I came back. And since then, I was once with my friends. We went out to have a little dance, and then that was it. So basically, maybe, I don't know, maybe summertime, maybe 3, 4, 5 months, I haven't been to the city just to enjoy the city, enjoy Oxford Street, and the Hyde Park. Maybe I haven't been to Hyde Park maybe 2 years before the whole this lockdown, self-isolation, travel restriction, and wear the mask, social distancing, and sanitize your hands, and all that stuff started. Yeah, I haven't been to Hyde Park, I think. And so we were there because I had the ticket, I had the free ticket. And instead of going to the second-hand vintage clothes store, which I still mind, that, you know, I could have done both of them. I don't know why I decided to do just one of them and thinking about the time. But, you know, right now I have quite limited time. So we were in Marble Arch Mound, which is next to the High Park, the main entrance to the park. And obviously, there is no hill there, and now there is, because it's a pop-up again. First, I thought it's some sort of exhibition, and basically there is, because in the belly of the hill, you have an exhibition, and I think that exhibition, with the lights and mirrors, deserve its own video. Definitely it does. So I'm not going to talk about the exhibition which is underneath the Marble Arch Mound. I will talk about what's on the top of it. So basically, they build a whole mountain, and it's like quite tall. And what they did, they covered it. They covered it so it looks like a hill. You know, it's like New York Central Park. Well, that is not a park. The whole thing is artificial. They made it look like it's a park. They made it look like it's like a wilderness, and they try to make it look as natural as possible. And they made a great job. And this hill, the Marble Arch Mound, is the same. It looks very, very natural. You know, when you look at the grass, when you look at the trees, it looks so natural, like it's been there forever. But it wasn't clear enough. So we were climbing it. No, I'm not gonna lie. We didn't climb the stairs like everyone else. We went with the lift, yeah. Well, so we went on the top of it, and it's amazing. You can see Hyde Park, and on the top you have these little text messages to explain to you what you actually see from the top. And you know, the whole thing is basically a tourist attractions. It is perfect. You know, if you're first time in England, if you're first time in London, I would really suggest to go and start your day at Marble Arch Mound. But you know, right now there are not many tourists at the moment, so all the people, well, as far as I could tell, they were from here. So I was looking, you know, north and south and east and west, and there was one single text I did not agree with, and that was what they said about Oxford Street, that it's a very good destination for shopping and all that stuff. Maybe it was a few years ago. Well, not anymore. If you want to buy things, definitely I would not go to Oxford. Well, maybe I would, but it would not be my first choice. Yeah, sadly, but I hope that they pull themselves together, and in few years' time it will be again relevant destinations. But everything else, what they said, what was written on the top of the Marble Arch Mound, was absolutely great. For example, I didn't know about the speaker's corner. You know, it's when you look down, it's autumn in London, so we still have, you know, the crowns of the trees, and you could not see, even from the top of the mound, you could not see the speaker's corners because the leaves hadn't fallen yet, and the speaker's corners, and it was put just in the right way, in the text. It said that, you know, it's hard to understand in the time of social media, but before social media, before the internet, the ideas, the opinions spread much, much slower. So the reach was much more limited. So what happened is that freedom of speech, freedom of reach, and all that stuff on the speaker's corner, that was it. People brought the soap boxes, which is like a wooden box. They went there, put it down on the floor, they stepped on it so people could see them from far away as well. And there were people there talking like Churchill, Lenin, Karl Marx. Oh, you know, from East Europe, I can't believe I'm saying these names. And I was actually very, very surprised when I came to London that Karl Marx has a grave here. Like, what? I was so surprised. Well, Speaker's Corner, the way how they explained it, it was just so great. And then, of course, they talk about Hyde Park itself, that basically Hyde Park came to be as, after being confiscated from the church, Henry VIII made it into a park for deer hunting. And later on, going through certain evolutions, it became the Hyde Park for everyone to visit. And apparently there is, I used to go there quite a lot of time, but I didn't know, for example, that is a pet cemetery there. Not a book from Stephen King, but an actual pet cemetery. Mainly dogs, maybe around 1,000 little graves for pets. Oh, such a sad thing. But then, we need to finish right now, because this video is getting too long. We need to finish with a positive note. And the positive note will be the new buildings from the last 10, 20, 30 years. Mainly the Shard, what was in many, many movies. And I loved the Shard. Well, in the beginning, I remember when I saw it, I didn't like it because it looks like something out of the Lord of the Rings, like a science fiction version of the tower. Well, that is a pretty great thing. And here, again, pets. There was a fox living on the top floor of the Shard for quite a long time. The fox was eating the leftovers, what the construction site workers left there. So the little guy, the fox, was having fun over there, getting food, from bread and other sandwiches from other sandwich places. And then they rescued it. Well, basically that was the first and maybe the most famous resident of the Shard, that fox. And then, of course, the other skyscrapers we need to talk about. It's not just the Shard. The other ones, it's quite a good name, Shard. But other ones, they have nicknames like Gherkin, that was in the movie Basic Instinct 2. And then that is the Gherkin. And then you have the cheese grater, the walkie-talkie, the boomerang. All of them has funny names. The Shard, they were really clever, because Shard is just a perfect name. You don't need nicknames or anything like that. It's just perfect. But all the rest has a nickname. So if you're in London for the first time, you're spending the weekend here, definitely after a good English breakfast, you need to go up to the Marble Arch Mound. The ticket is free. You need to book it ahead, but definitely it's a five-star experience. Go and do it. Bye. Okay, boys and girls, tell me where we're at. So, look at that, Hyde Park. What happened?